How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's PGA Preview. We're doing the Genesis Invitational Weekend and Round 3 picks for DraftKings and FanDuel. Um, my format is probably going to be based on DraftKings, but I think these picks are also good for FanDuel. And maybe a bet or two if we can get Burns to fall off. But what a display Mr. Burns has displayed over the past couple of days. 12 under, he's 5 strokes ahead of everyone. But how much is that going to hold on? We'll see. But let's get into some picks and some strategy here. 10K, we have Dustin Johnson at 10.5. He shot 4 under today. Leads the field in strokes gained tee to green at 7.3. He's 3.2 on the approach. Just losing a little bit of strokes on the puttering, but if he continues to hit the ball like this, putting is not going to really matter too much for Dustin Johnson because his strokes tee to green is head and shoulders above everybody else in the field. So I have a feeling he can catch Sam Burns if Burns, has any kind of blip in the golf game. Although his statistics will tell you otherwise, because it looks like Burns is about to go wire to wire. But I think DJ is probably the most likely to catch him based on the numbers that I'm seeing. But maybe not the best odds because I think the books are catching on to that as well. Patrick Cantlay at 10.2. He only shot 1 under today, but he is gaining 4.9 strokes tee to green. He is my one and done pick. I'm running pretty good on my one and dones. Getting a lot of top tens, but I'm not getting many 1-2 finishes. So hopefully there's some of that in the cards this week for Patrick Cantlay. He did struggle a little bit in his back nine today, but a notoriously good Saturday golfer. I'm hoping Cantlay can explode. I don't mind him on the weekends. Xander Schauffele only shot 2 under today at 10K. If he would kind of be my odd man out here. He's perfectly capable of doing really well and showcasing his best golfing abilities. Excuse me. Very popular pick on the main slate. I think he's going to go a little bit under owned because of the plays like DJ Cantlay and some of these guys in the 9K range. So Xander would be a good GBP play. 9K, we have Brooks Koepka at 9.5. He shot 1 under today. He was kind of up and down. He made 7 birdies in his first round, so I know he knows the course really well. There's possibilities that he could, perform like he did at the Waste Management Open on the weekend, and that ultimately led to a victory. When the broadcast gets brighter, that's when Brooks tends to shine. Now that he's going to be in some of the final pairings, he's going to be paired up with some of the better golfers in the world. I think that brings out the best in Brooks always. So he's always a threat, and that's always something to mention. But my favorite play for DraftKings purposes in this range is Joaquin Niemann at 9,100. The wind is picking up tomorrow, and that's going to dry the greens out a little bit. That's going to make getting off the tee a little harder, and the approach shots are going to be a little bit wider. But I think he's gaining 5.2 strokes tee to green, and that's going to really be all right for Joaquin Niemann. He's showcased in Sony with his second place finish in at Torrey Pines. That when the weather gets rough, Niemann doesn't back down, and I think that's going to be a strong bet. That's a strong theme throughout the year for Mr. Niemann, and I'm not gonna shy away from it tomorrow at all either. Tony Finau also goes without saying is a decent play in this 9K range as well. 8K, we have Max Homa at 87. It's a really high price tag for Max Homa, but this is Max Homa's jam. I've been saying it all week. I hope you've been listening. I hope you've been playing. He's been in my GPP course. I'm really hoping Max Homa can take it home and finish in the top 5 because all my Burns, Max Homa lineups and my Cantlay lineups are going to finish really high, even with a missed golfer in that range or in those lineups. Excuse me. I think Homa is going to be a decent bet for top 5. Burns, the man of the hour, 12 under, 6.3 tee to green, 6.2 on the approach, leads the field, 5.9 ball striking, leads the field, 12.1 total, leads the field, 5 under today, 7 under on Thursday. Probably the most popular play on the slate. I think that looks for a good weekend fade. Now, if you want to play him for Saturday, sure, I can understand that. But I think Sunday is when the when some of these guys, make their way to the top and they start nipping on his heels, I think that's when the pressure will get to Sam Burns. So I think that's a decent weekend fade for GPPs. Cash, I would probably play Burns, but for GPPs, I think that's a pretty cool fade. 7K, Jason Kokrax, $7,700. Every year we get these Kokrax events where he's just not going to slow down, and I don't think that's going to slow him down, or I don't think he's going to be slowing down in this event either. When Jason Kokrax is going to top 10, Jason Kokrax top 10s. He's gaining 7.1 strokes total, 3.6 tee to green. He's on his way to a top 10, and he's going to be in the majority of my weekend lineups. Cam Smith at 7,600. He's getting 4 strokes tee to green. I think that's another solid play. 2 guys here at 7,500. They're going to get off early on the tee time, and we have really decent weather for the early tee time sets. Francisco Molinari and Cam Davis. I like those 2 plays at 7,500. I like them to move their way up on Saturday and Sunday. We have Kevin Strealman at 7K. Putts really well on POA. Really good West Coast swing guy. He shot 5 under today. He's gaining 4 strokes around the greens. I really like that stat for correlation between finishing position. I think Strealman makes his way up the entire weekend. Matthew Naismith has continued his ball striking prowess that he showcased in the last couple of weeks at 7,200. I think he's another good play. 6K, locking him in all, if not 90% of my lineups. James Hahn, 6,900, 1.2 tee to green. That's it. James Hahn loves this course. He shot 5 under today, and he didn't play his best golf. His explosion round is coming in round 3. He's going to make his way inside the top 10 after round 3, and I think that's going to lead to another top 5. If you wanted to bet James Hahn as a long shot to win this golf tournament, I think you could. I think you could pair that with the top 5 each way. I might be crazy, but I think it's possible, because we don't know what Burns is going to do. If Burns drops off and guys don't leapfrog him at 10 under, and Hahn gets to 6-7 under after Saturday with another big round, you could shoot another big round and maybe claim a top 5. I love James Hahn this week. I'm crazy. I know I am, but I think he's going to do amazing on the weekend. Sun Kang, 6,400. I think that's another great play. Tyler McCumber is going to get a lot of action. How much of that will continue? I think at 5.8 tee to green, 7.1 total. Those are good strokes gain numbers. You just get these guys that pop from time to time, and I think McCumber is going to be another one of those guys. And Harrington, min price, shot 5 under today, 5.4 tee to green, 2.5 on the approach. Those 4 guys, I'm going to have a lot of 6K golfers to try to fit a lot of DJ, Cantlay, Neiman in my lineups. Okay, so that'll do it for the Genesis Invitational Weekend Round 3 picks for DraftKings and FanDuel. Thank you for listening. Please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have just recently hit 2,000 subscribers, so just want to spend a big shout out to you guys, and thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate it in the FSI family. Hopefully you can join us on our Discord at FSI_DFS on Twitter, and you can follow me at TKNation47. And hopefully we find some green screens this weekend, and hopefully Classic continues to go well. And thank you all. See ya.